Hello, Renee Flamont here. You guys, the title of this video keeps changing. It is about what I think I've landed on, the one that sits there. Nothing right now. Nothing is ahead with the narcissist but bad. Be done with it. That's the point of this. And I want to tell you, I always tell you that I'll let you know if there's a trick that I did to turn the corner of being able to get there. Because you might say, yeah, Renee, that sounds great, but I can't break away from him. So I know there's nothing ahead bad, but how can I get out? All right? To be done. Not done, fake done. We've all done fake done. I'm going to get into all this, okay? And I want to mention also, before somebody says, you know, the good times were so good. That's why I hang in there. The good times were so good. You know, we all say that. That's what we tell ourselves, right? Not just, I hate when somebody says that. I hate when we feel that. You know why? Because the good times are bad. Because those are manipulations setting us up to accept their bad behavior that they know is inevitably coming. Who knows what they would be if they knew bad behavior, they weren't setting us to butter us up for bad behavior coming. Who knows? Maybe they'd be like a drip and not charming at all. And they'd just be medium all the time. But they lay it on thick to set us up for later so that we're bonded to them, right? That gets into the whole trauma bond. So nothing ahead for the narcissist being bad. I want to make this point clear, and what helped me get through to this notion. I think of it as I'm full. Let me explain this to you, okay? Even the good with them is bad, as I just said. And I just finally got to the point that I said, someone else can have it, can have all of it, can have the good, can have the bad, all of it. I'm full. I am full. This is how I feel. I'm full on stuff that is bad for me. You know, like I've had all I could handle. I'm full. From anybody and anyone ever again, I'm full. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have disagreements. Of course, healthy debate, always. But it doesn't have to be the dysfunction that we've all seen with a narcissist. That does not have to be part of my life. I can choose that. So can you. We can all choose that. And all I kept saying is, I'm full. I'm done. And no more. That's how it felt when I finally broke away. No more. Definitively no more. To the point that I envision me being alone. Happily. You guys know I'm choosing this and I'm loving it, which is why I don't know if I could ever combine again with somebody. But I'm working through that. But I would choose being alone over ever spending even one day being mistreated by anybody. Now, to someone who has already had their self-worth on point and never allowed themselves to be mistreated, this sentence to them sounds weird and basic. Of course, you're not going to put somebody around you that mistreats. But some of us take a minute to learn this. And it might be your partner, your friend, your family member, a narcissist who's mistreating you. Unless you've been through it, you just don't understand. So if you've been lucky enough to experience this and gain this education now, the sentence doesn't seem weird to you to say, I'm no longer going to be around somebody who mistreats me, right? And so we take a minute to learn it. And I've allowed I thought about this. I allowed many of what I would now call ill treatments, behaviors, what have you. I've allowed many of them with any of the roles I just mentioned. Family, friend, you know what I mean? Any partner, okay? But now I've allowed a billion. But now, after education and with the empowerment that comes from that, I live in the definitive land of I'm so sure I won't ever allow it again. I accept the possibility that may mean I remain alone. That's how definitive, I don't care. I'm not. And the reason I say it, because maybe I'll never meet someone who doesn't And you might say, well, everything's not going to be no. We're talking about disrespect, dishonesty, the big ones, okay? No, not handling it. Nope. He had a bad day. Don't care. I'd rather be alone. I treat myself fantastically. I won't take less from someone else ever again. And that's what I think the point that we have to get to make it really be done. Because we've all done that. The regular no more. The definitive no more feels more intense than just the regular no more. You follow what I'm saying? Because we've all done the regular no more. We've said no more and then we've taken more bad. We've said no more and then we give it another shot. Definitive no more has to do with you. It's when you feel such value about yourself that it's not even a struggle or a thought or an argument with yourself. I'm not looking to spend my moments, my time with anyone who would even have one quality of the disordered narcissist set. Like, I'm not going to, like, if somebody said, well, this is, broken, but he doesn't have I don't want him. I'd rather be alone. And I'm willing to accept that. Renee, no one's perfect. Not looking for perfection. I can handle a person who's stubborn or opinionated or has conviction, or I have a brother and a father and an ex-husband that are all those things. I love all of them. So I know nobody's perfect, okay? But I'm not going to take anyone's disrespect ever again, and I can say that. Because if they did it to me once, I'm out. I'm not waiting for the second time. I don't want an apology. I'm not listening. I'm done. And if I see one thing, that is more than I already am willing to deal with, because I'm coming at people now with a full tank. So there's no room so if he does one thing, I'm going to spill a little bit, but I'm backing off. I'm not adding to the tank. And we hear it all the time. Oh, I know he wasn't nice to me just then, but in private he treats me like a queen. That means you're accepting something, right? Or, oh, I know he cheated, but he said he'll change. You're accepting something. Or whatever you may have excused. We've all done it. And never again, not even once. Nope, never ever. And that's where I sit, which was what allowed me at the end to say, oh, no, I'm done. Yeah, no, don't get confused. No, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry, were you talking? Like, that's kind of how I see the people in my life that have wronged me, that I've discarded or rejected. Done. Not even given a chance. No, you're not going to give a chance, Renee. You're not going to forget. Done. When you know somebody is disordered, you know another one is coming. Another bad treatment. You know it. There's nothing they can say to change that. They will put upon you more harm. You can guarantee it. The only way to stop it is to stop giving them chances. That's it. It's the only way to stop it. There's only one way. You can't talk them into behaving right, talk them into caring and having empathy. You can't talk a narcissist out of their mindset thinking they're right. None of that. The only thing we have control over is whether or not we stop the visitation, right? And that's a very personal choice. But either of the first times, like in the examples I just said, like, oh, he cheated, but he said he'll cheat. And the other one, he wasn't nice to me, but in private, he treated me like a queen. Either one of those examples would be putting my tank over more. Since, like I said, my tank is full. I know it's full. Not one more item. And when I'm confronted with mistreatment, I react because I'm full. Especially, like, I don't know about you, but I know exactly who in my life triggers me to be in a certain, okay? And if I get mistreated, I react. I have to work on that. It's like a trigger for me to be mistreated. And that's because I'm full. And you might say, well, I'm full too, Renee. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Well, when you don't accept him back anymore or her back anymore, my pronoun is he, you insert your own. That's when you know you are full. And you might say, well, I'm full, but I'm stuck here. And I understand. I do. I empathize. I understand that can all be very true. I get it. And that's why we just keep making videos and trying to learn and gain strength so that you know what to do should you be able to break away, okay? But getting to this point of self-value is where the narcissist will not thrive. A narcissist wouldn't thrive in my environment anymore, would no longer thrive. I was attracting them, I was keeping them, I was attracted to them because I think I'm going to fix the broken. So if I would see broken or hear a sob story, oh, he's broken, I'll love them. Yep. I recognize my pattern, and I did this for years. Many relationships went on with dysfunction of this type. Now, I've learned. And I see how differently I feel inside with the work I've done. It's the one-shot type thing that's so alarming to many. I've had people go, what do you mean, one chance? I've had somebody say to me, so you mean if you got into an argument with somebody and he raised his voice, that's it, you're breaking up with him, or you're not going to be friends with that person anymore? And I said, wait a minute. I said, raises his voice in volume because he's loud and he's from the Northeast. We're a loud people. I can handle that. A loud raises his voice in what way? Do you mean I don't care if he whispers disrespect. It has nothing to do with the volume of a voice. It has to do with we know what I mean. And if somebody has a bone in their body where they can, I would never be rude to somebody or without provocation. So if somebody's doing that and it's unwarranted and I didn't do anything, yeah, no, done. Tank full, done. Yep. And like I said, getting here, it was a process. But the strength you get from this secure feeling is intoxicating. I walk the earth knowing I'm safe from ever falling into the trappings that I have before many times. And that's because I got right with and about my value and self-love. Both are really high. So bring me a higher love, right? Bring me, maybe that's what he was singing about. But that's right, higher. Higher than mine for myself. Not lower. Not rude or disrespectful or disloyal. That's not a higher love. No. So if I want a higher love, then that would translate into someone who would never bring me harm. It exists. I know people. I'm one. I would never bring someone harm on purpose. I know plenty of couples that don't bring each other harm. It exists. So we just have to recognize that it does exist and then hold off unless you find that. Well, I don't want to be alone, Renee. Get used to it, being alone. I'm saying find your peace. Learn to love it because it's much more glorious than being in someone's company who mistreats you. And I think people are afraid to be alone. And that might keep them, I know people that it keeps them. I can't picture being alone. Don't you get bored? I get asked that. Never, 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 ever. I love my life. I don't get bored. Nope. And so I want to make sure that you're thinking of it where you're setting your principles and you don't veer off. The exhilaration you experience from being aware and dodging the game, spotting the players, is tremendously powerful. Walking through life now with this education, it's powerful. I feel safe. I'm keeping myself safe. I know. I don't need to worry. I can spot. And whatever I spot, I don't care. If I see them across the room and they're rude to like a waitress or a server or something like this, I don't like you. Period. I don't care what you have to say. Oh, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I'm being bratty now on purpose, but you get what I mean? My tank is full. So getting to this point of empowerment takes work, and education is a significant part of that. Watching these videos, learning what is behind the narcissist's behavior, and that it has nothing to do with a flaw in us. That was a powerful thing to come to a realization. It has nothing to do with us, their behavior. I don't care what they say to you. Well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that, and if you only you did this, and Nope, I can't whistle. No. But it has nothing to do with us ever. I don't care what they have to say. So they have to live with their perpetual truth that all they bring people is bad. You do not have to live with that at all. Make the decision to just be done being mistreated. So like, even if you're stuck there, we'll just use stuck with this, all the subcategories underneath for whatever reason. You're stuck there, okay? I don't want to cause any person to have an encounter they're not in the mood for, but just gently try to stop allowing the mistreatment. I don't know if that means cutting down the time you spend with people, if they're in your life and you don't need to be around them. If it's a partner and you're stuck, I wish you the best. It's very difficult. But I'm telling you, my tank was full. And that's when I said, with any of the people that had mistreated me in my life, I cleaned house. I did it once when I turned 50, and I kind of did it approaching 55. I said, no, I can't. Ooh, but I just, don't you want, It's empowering because I know I'm safe. Now, if you risk it, and I always say, and you guys know, if somebody comes to me hat in hand and knocks on my door, I don't mean my ex-narcissist, but somebody else, like an old friend, maybe you parted ways, there was a thing, I would open and hear them out. But the people that have mistreated me, I'd say, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested. Because if you allow someone who's disordered back in, they will hurt you again. They will hurt you again. It took me a long time to learn that because I'm an empath. I give a million chances, and I was failed so much. And I finally said, Renee, the only way to stop this is you don't give them a chance to be around you to do that to you. And now I have a peaceful, happy, simple, little fabulous life. Just give it some thought, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.